Hello guys, NautoAce here, and I want to begin my thoughts of the state of play that happened on February 13, 2026. And I have to say, this is actually, in my personal opinion, one of the best state of play they showed because, yeah, they showed first party game, they showed third party game, and there were surprises that I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know that they were doing it, but they did. And I think first of all, it was more informative than the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase because for that one is, well, mostly is, hey, we have this third party game and it can run on the Switch Pro. But with the state of play, oh boy, they were surprises, even announcing some new releases, new surprises, and new IP. Whether they're good or not, hey, at least with PlayStation, they are offering some new IP. I mean, like it, dump it, you decide. So with that said, here are the games that I caught my eye, and surprisingly, it's almost all of them that caught my eye. So starting with Kena Stars of Cosmora. So it is a sequel of Kena. So apparently people like the game, and I haven't tried it, but yeah, people said that it's a good game, so now they're doing a sequel. Now apparently the main character now is a bit older and she got some new improvement, she's learning, she's more experienced, so that's interesting that they are doing a sequel. And then from there is Yotei Legend, which is their multiplayer mode. They did that with Tsushima, and it is free to play, so it's a free DLC. But as for the game itself, I don't know, I haven't tried it yet, but hey, more content, they're free, multiplayer, you know how it goes with this Legend mode. And then Death Stranding 2 will have a PC port, so finally, of course, improvement, frame rate, performance, and ultra widescreen if you have one of those new ultra widescreen monitors, I mean the Kirby ones. But again, option is there. They are putting some of their PlayStation game on PC. I know a lot of people want Nintendo games to be on other console, but I don't know. Potato, you decide if it's good or bad, whatever. And then, two Capcom games that were showcased on the Nintendo Direct, now they are showcased in the state of play. It's so weird. So those games were like, it's one of those, one more thing announcement to some extent. Of course, Pragmata, they just say, hey, look, it runs good on the Switch Pro. And then Resident Evil Requiem, look at this amiibo, you can unlock game skin for your guns. Okay. So with that, once again, these two games, they showcase more info about it on the state of play. With Pragmata, they showed apparently in the space station you can do some sort of holodeck. So apparently the holodeck created a New York City, introduced new bad guys. Wow, so I mean there's more than we say about this space station, so we'll just have to wait and see what it is. And then in Resident Evil Requiem, yeah, they showed more trailer how Ashley and Leon are like teaming up, and then in the very end, there were some a bit of surprises. One is there's another character that they revealed. I'm guessing it's gonna be the dual character from Resident Evil 2. She made an appearance in Resident Evil 6 again. Maybe I'm just guessing. Not only that, they finally showed the aftermath of the Raccoon Police Department, the famous city, famous place in Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. So, of course, you know what happened to some extent in the end of Resident Evil 2. It got A-bombed. Now that's the aftermath. So we have to wait and see what's the deal with it. Maybe there are some secrets, but they're showing more info, more surprises on the state of play that they probably could have shown it on the Nintendo Partner Showcase. But again, you gotta understand that Capcom and PlayStation, they have a great relationship. I mean, it is what it is. What can you do about it? Then they announced a Legacy of Kain remaster. So it's the latest one. You play as the bad guy who is like a rival to Asriel. I mean, I don't follow the series, but there you go. So another remaster. So if you're a fan of this game or the franchise, there you go. So moving from that one is one of the surprises. Brigadine Abyss. So if people don't know, Brigadine was a PlayStation 1 game. It was a sort of a tactical monster Pokemon-esque type game. You get monsters and then you fight other monsters. They did a remake on the PlayStation console, and I did a extended showcase on my third channel if you want to see about that one. Now they announced that there's a sequel. They literally did a sequel for this game. So 30 years later, a sequel for Brigadine. And from the trailer, it looks like it's going to be just Japanese sub. It is what it is. First game is just Japanese sub, but what can you do about it? But a sequel. 30 years later, there's a sequel, so lots of them. And then Dead or Alive 6 announced that they will have a update version, or what they call it, last round. So they did that with Dead or Alive 5 during the PS4 era. So now with Dead or Alive 6, they're doing it again, a last round. The question is it going to be a new game that people have to purchase, or can people who own the previous one update? For me personally, it doesn't matter because I got the game like for $20. But again, we have to wait and see if they're going to have sort of a upgrade pack, or it's just going to be a new game. It is what it is. And not only that, they announced for last round, all the DLC characters are going to be in the game. So that's also going to be, I don't know. But they are going to add more characters. Again, DOA 5, they did the same thing with that one. They added new characters. So we just have to wait and see. But surprisingly, Tecmo Koei announced that they are working on Dead or Alive 7. Yeah, so they announced a new project on progress, a new Dead or Alive game. So surprisingly, because if you didn't know, Part 6, a lot of people when it first came out were not happy about it. The fan service was toned down, but then they kind of fixed it. And then the balances just wasn't good. Story wasn't good. The single player wasn't good. I don't know. That's probably what last round is. And people saw that the franchise is dead. But no, Dead or Alive 7 in the works. So kudos to Tecmo Koei. And then more showcase on Control, Resonant. Again, kind of different than the original Control. And this time the guy sort of a hack and slash type of game. So maybe he can still shoot, but it is what it is. Looks interesting. Just have to wait and see for that one. And then a game that was showcased on the Xbox Direct, Beast of Reincarnation. So at first when people saw it sort of a like medieval fantasy, just a bunch of monsters, that's not the case, because apparently one of the revelation was there's sci-fi technology in this game. The main character has to fight robots. So now the question is, it may be a fantasy world. It could be like a post-apocalyptic world. Who knows? It could be like NOiR type of scenario. Again, I don't know, but yeah, that was a shocker. That it's not just monster and fantasy. Apparently, there's sci-fi elements in this game. Just wait and see there. So interested for that one. And then the rumors were true. So there were some hints about Rayman, like a new Rayman or remastered. Well, to some extent, Rayman's celebrating its 30th anniversary with a collection. So the first Rayman game, the collection, multiple version. And not only that, you get to play for the first time ever the Rayman Parodox. So I've never been following the Rayman game, the earlier ones. I know there's a Rayman game for the PlayStation. And if I remember, the PlayStation Mini had that also as well. But again, it is what it is there. So there's the prototype, different version of Rayman 1. So you get to see how it all started. And if you want to know about other Rayman games, I know there's one for the NSO and 64. Of course, there's Rayman Legend and its sequel. And of course, Mario vs. Rabbids, one of the DLC that you get to play as Rayman. So just wait and see there. Then the next one is Mina the Hollower. It's confirmed it's going to be in multi-platform, including PlayStation 5. And not only that, the PS5 will have a demo. So finally, you get to play it again to see how the performance. Because if you didn't know for a while, the demo was a Switch exclusive. And there was even rumor that it was going to be a Switch exclusive game, but not the case anymore. So can't wait for that one. And then Neva Prologue, apparently a prologue to the game Neva. I think I heard about it. So this one sort of interesting because they made it sort of a Metroidvania type of game. I don't know what to start about it, but it looks beautiful what I saw, so let's wait and see. And then a new game from Acquire called Yaikoh Shinobi Op. So this was sort of a top view, but of course it's a stealth type of game. You're a ninja. I mean, it is what it is. So I'm kind of looking interested for what it is, but you gotta wait and see what the game's all about. And then from Captain Project Windless. So you get to play as a giant rooster. I don't know if it's related from the rooster from Rooster Fighter. Probably not. And the rooster looks so, let's just say, Jack. So Peter Griffin's probably going to be afraid right now seeing that one. Okay, Family Guy reference there. So anyway, it is sort of a hack and slash, dicey war type of game. By the trailer, don't know about it. Looks interesting. So you get to play as a giant rooster. I mean, it's probably a fantasy mythology type of game scenario, but again, not bad. Again, new games there. And then more info about Star Wars Galactic Racer. That is what the name is. So there's pod racing, there's spacecraft racing. So bottom line is that not only you get to play as pod racer from episode 1, there are some like space car you get to play. So again, it's probably one of those like arcades type Star Wars racing game, so not bad. And then another trailer for 007 First Light coming out this May. And it is what it is. Not a bad game. I mean, if there's politics behind it, apparently some people say it does. Who knows? We just have to wait and see. But hey, more trailer. And then in this part, I gotta give props. Konami was a big deal for the state of play. Yes, spoiler, no mention about Goemon collection, unfortunately. But again, we have to wait and see, give it more time. Hopefully, maybe in 2027, they'll do a localization, but not gonna come out until July of 2026. But again, people do want it. I want to play it, but again, it's not here or there. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe there is something. But they showed a lot of Konami games, so props to them. Starting with Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 2. So no surprise that they are doing it. I know they're like looking at it, but now it's confirmed. So the game will include 2 big games. So Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriot, not really good Metal Gear game in my opinion. Played it on the PS3, just wasn't. I enjoyed 5 more. And then Peace Walker. So that one I did play. It's okay for what it is. It's a PSP game. It was on the Metal Gear Solid HD collection for the PS3 360. It is what it is. It's not a bad game. And then it also comes with a Game Boy game called Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel. Apparently it's non-canon. So a lot of people are a bit bummed out because there's no like the Vita games. Again, maybe in the long run, maybe not. Who knows? We have to wait and see. Maybe a free update or not. Maybe Volume 3 if they're considering it. But for now, there you go. Volume 2. If you're a fan of this 2 game they just shown, there you go. So the question is, what about Metal Gear Solid 5? The Phantom Pain and Ground Zero. I mean, those are not really that old. And my hypothesis could be that if they're ever going to do that, they might do like a deluxe improved version with an actual concrete ending. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe we'll just have to wait and see. Because if you didn't know with Metal Gear Solid 5, yeah, the game was incomplete because there was a collab with Kojima. We'll just have to wait and see. But for now, Metal Gear Solid 4, Peace Walker, good game for what it is. Peace Walker, yes. For me personally, with Guns with the Patriot, not so much, but that's just me there. And then there will be a demo for Darwin Parodox, which is that octopus game, and there will be a collaboration with Metal Gear Solid. It is what it is. And then Castlevania, Belmont's Curse. So a Metroidvania game, people wanted that, and it's from the people who did Dead Cells. So if you play that one, roguelike game, you know, the controversy with a particular former IGN so-called journalist, but that's not here or there. So they are doing this game, so looks good for a Metroidvania game. And judging from the trailer, apparently you're going back to Trevor's timeline once again. Because if you don't remember Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, there's a story about that. And there's a story about the thing with why for a while after Richter there was no Belmont. I mean, they could probably extend that one, but as of right now, judging for this trailer, it is Trevor's timeline. And the character you play, I'm going to assume it's going to be the daughter of Trevor and Sylphie. And I don't know, I'm just guessing there. And for some people might say, well, what about anything with Richter? What happened? How come there's no more Belmont? I mean, yeah, there are 2 games per se about it, Blood of Blood and Symphony of the Night. And I remember this, and just an off topic, that there was an offshoot rumor that there might be a 3rd chapter for this timeline with Richter, kind of explaining what happened, why the Belmont disappeared. But that was just like a rumor in the past. I don't know what happened to it, but that would be cool if there is going to be a 3rd chapter for Richter Belmont. But whatever there. So moving from that one is a trailer for a new Silent Hill game called Silent Hill Townfall. They did announce it before, so now they show more about it. And of course, there's also their Silent Hill Direct, so they show what the game is. I mean, it is what it is there. And then Konami announced a new JRPG called Rev NOiR. I'm surprised Konami doing JRPG besides Suikoden. I know there was also the Eternal Fantasia for the PS2. It's like the time loop type of game, I can remember. But I used to play it. It was okay for what it is there. But kudos to Konami. They're showing a lot of Konami games. So hopefully that Goemon is going to be part of it. That's going to come out outside of Japan. But we have to wait and see that. Then a new John Wick game. Untitled yet. Just John Wick in a video game. Why not? I mean, Johnny Silverhand. And then PlayStation Plus announced that they're going to have more PlayStation Plus game for the upper tier. Spider-Man 2 for the extra. And then for the classic, Second Dark Resurrection. I guess a PSP game. I don't remember that one. And Time Crisis for the PlayStation 1. So a Zapper game or rail shooter game. And apparently they're going to do some sort of trickery because you can use the controller as a gyro. Would be nice with the PlayStation Move controller, but we'll just have to wait and see. But why not? I mean, alternatively, just use the control stick as you move the target. I mean, you know, alternatively, but it's not really that fun. But yeah, I mean, Time Crisis. Why not? And then Sauros, they show more gameplay and they introduce a new system called the Eclipse system. So when there's an eclipse, the environment changes, more bad guys. It's kind of like night and day. Like nighttime sometimes it's harder, more stronger enemy. Daytime it's not. But I mean something like that. So they kind of did it, but just fancier. But again, I mean, it's just a shooter that if you die, you get stronger. It's one of those type of game. And then now they're just adding in a night and day system. That's what it is. I mean, to some extent there. And then Marvel Token was in the state of play, and I gotta give props that a lot of new info. First of all, they introduced 3 new characters, X-Men characters. So of course, Storm's already been announced. Now you get Wolverine, Magic, and Danger. For people who don't know who Danger is, I'm gonna guess is that she's an AI from the Danger Room. But hey, I mean X-Men representative, so that's props. And yes, it is confirmed it's gonna be 20 characters for a 4v4. I really don't care about it, but some people do. And yes, unfortunately to some extent, they also announced DLC character in a season pass. People don't like that, but it is what it is. So $60 game, it was been confirmed. 20 from the base roster, and there's a season pass for this game. But the best part of it for me is English dub. So I was hoping that there will be English dub, and they did it. And then closing with this one are 2 announcements. First of all, the God of War Trilogy will have a remake. So now, fancier version of those games. It's going to be isometric or it's going to be third person. Who knows? Just have to wait and see. And not only that, the original voice for Kratos, Carlson, is going to be voicing for the trilogy. So that's awesome, because if you didn't know, they changed it to Christopher because Corey Barlow said he wanted a calmer Kratos, so that's why they chose the guy. So he got recasted. It is what it is. It's just a business. But for the God of War Trilogy, it's going to be the OG voice, so prop. And not only that, a shadow drop, God of War, Sons of Sparta. So before the God of War game, you get to play as a young Kratos and probably his brother, maybe not, maybe a supporting character, who knows. But yeah, it's out now for $30. So I'm going to wait for it for me because I already got too many games. Yes, it is a Metroidvania type of game for this one. So props. So the rumor is true that there is a 2D Metroidvania type God of War game, multi-platform. Well, I haven't seen any news about it, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. So there you go. My impression of the state of play that happened on February 12, 2026. And I have to say, better than the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. There were surprises. First party games, third party games, surprises that I didn't even know that they announced, especially with Konami. I mean, I gotta give props for that one. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Best ever state of play in my opinion. That's just me. Like I said, I am a Sony supporter. I do enjoy Sony platform than Nintendo. So with that said, what would I give this state of play a score? I would give it, believe it or not, is a 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's not a perfect one because to some extent, some of the games they announced more info. It is what it is. But there were surprises. Like, there were a lot of surprises, but there were some people that hopefully were the XYZ game. I mean, it is what it is. Nobody said that XYZ game should be in this state of play. People just hope about it, but like such as what happened to Final Fantasy Remake Part 3. How come it's not there? How come nothing for Square Enix? I mean, it is what it is, but it's a near perfect state of play for me. I enjoyed the game that they showed. Heck, the games I mentioned in this state of play are almost like on the state of play. I mentioned it. Yeah, there are some that I didn't want to mention, like Marathon. Yeah, I mean, the game's like, it's fudge no matter what. I mean, too much controversy with that game, but it is what it is. But yeah, a lot of surprises with this game. Awesome presentation. A lot of surprises. First party, third party, American game, Japanese game, Konami, minus the Goemon collection, but we just have to wait and see. But yeah, a 9 out of 10. So, best state of play yet. So the question is, will there be a new Nintendo Direct? The rumor was the third week of February. Maybe not. Who knows? Maybe Mario Day. Whatever. But the state of play, awesome. So with that, I'll see you guys later.